welcome back to For Comics. I'm Ernie P.
And I'm Andre the Goon.
And here we go. We're ready for another podcast. Or actually our first podcast, because we tried to get off the ground once.
We recorded one.
Well.
We recorded one. How was it? Like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, about a month ago at least.
And then,
it did not work out.
It did not work out. So
but here we go. Hopefully this one will be up in a few days, not a week. And basically the topic this time around is literally going to be, because sometimes we don't have time for video and whatnot.
Yes.
Will be films, comic book films. And of course we see where Marvel has gone, where they've gone, where they're going to go. And it seems like they're trying to push at least 3 or 4 movies a year at this point. But DC's answering back with something of their own.
And they're actually coming out with, they're trying to come out with 3 movies every year now, too.
Yeah, which is going to be, hey, it's going to be a comic book packed.
It's obviously it's obviously that DC is trying to push the characters into the movie business, which,
I think it was long overdue. It was long overdue. It's time.
Yeah, it was for all DC fans out there. So, we're gonna be talking about Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, that's the big
and
one.
What we think what we think about it so far, and the actors and actresses who are in this film.
Dawn of Justice.
Yes, Dawn of Justice.
The heading on that one. A lot of people are not happy with the title or the actors in it, or the fact that DC is trying to do this, and
people think it's copying. And it's just.
You know what the whole thing? It's you either like Marvel or you like DC or you like both. And people are gonna bicker one way or another. It's America. People like to be right, and that's exactly what it is. But hey, you go with what you like, and I can't wait for it.
I can't wait for it either. I mean, me being a big not against Marvel, but me being a big DC fan, I'm actually anticipated to go watch this film.
Of course.
And I can't be more than happy of the actors and actresses that we have, in this film.
It's always scary when you see people. You're like, oh, how are they gonna do? But you know what? They did a great job with the first Superman. They did great when the Batman films came out.
With Christopher Nolan.
And they're all kind of putting the same input in there. They got a lot of great people working on these films. Guillermo del Toro helping out in the future with the Justice League Dark Universe.
Yes, I've been watching on YouTube a few interviews of Guillermo del Toro, and he did say, and if you go on to Wikipedia.org, if you go into the Justice League Dark, you will scroll down and you will see films and other medias. And it talks about the film that will be coming out being directed by Guillermo del Toro. And he also stated that he was going to direct it and that DC is moving really fast with their films.
Which is great.
And he also stated that he can't wait to be working with Zack Snyder if they, the characters intertwine with each other.
Definitely.
And apparently he did say that, the company, DC and Warner Brothers, are moving really fast with their films, and he's loving it, and he cannot wait until something goes down.
Great thing about Guillermo del Toro, he likes to work fast. He doesn't like to just sit around and, we're still thinking about things.
Yes.
Which is why he originally left The Hobbit. He was on to direct The Hobbit at first. But producers and everything took it from a 2-movie deal and they tried to expand it to 3, which is fine because I enjoy those films as well.
Yes, I love them.
But at that point he says, you know what, you guys are working too slow. Whatever I've given you guys already, keep it. I just need to move on.
It. Yeah.
So I can't wait to see what he does there. I'm just imagining him putting his hands on Swamp Thing.
And we called it. We called it in the beginning.
I said, we need him doing a movie.
I actually wanted Guillermo del Toro to be a part of this project with DC, and we both said it, and we're like, well, let's think of something what he could direct.
And when it happened,
we went off. We thought of Constantine, we thought of Swamp Thing, and then instead of doing those 2 characters, he's gonna do all
Dead Man, for crying out
loud. Dead Man is also gonna be a part of it.
Oh man.
So I'm actually I cannot wait. Guillermo del Toro is gonna pull it off. And I just...
But more details on that to come. Let's jump into the big one at hand here. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
So, of course, we have Henry Cavill coming back as Clark Kent, Superman.
Ben Affleck as, Batman.
Ben Affleck as Bruce
Wayne. At this
Wayne,
point, people
Batman.
accept it.
Yes,
just accept it.
I can't wait. I don't care. I love the costume.
Yep, that's working. Gal Gadot, man, she's impressing us little by little.
Gal Gadot, yeah, she's actually. I've seen pictures of her lately. She's actually been working out.
She's been pumping up. She has a background in martial arts. She studied a lot apparently, and not only that, but from the last, rumors fly around. That's the whole thing about films nowadays. Like I can't stand rumors because a lot of the time people
I can't stand it either.
The rumors are going to start up even bigger rumors.
Right.
The one rumor I gotta say I really enjoy now is the fact they're gonna try to give her traditional blue leathery skirt that she used to wear in the old comics,
right? With
the big sandal boots and the long bracelets, not the small ones, So, who knows?
I can't wait, and
it's gonna be great. As long as there's a lasso in there, it's all good.
Yeah, she is working really hard. So we have Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot. They also now announced that Cyborg Victor Stone will be in the movie, and Ray Fisher will be a part of the project. He is kind of a Broadway actor, I believe, from New York. He did a Muhammad Ali play in Broadway in New York, I believe.
Which is great, you know.
Which is good. Then Amy Adams is also coming back.
Traditionally trained actors, you know.
Yes.
That's always a great thing, you know. That's always a great thing.
Amy Adams is also coming back to play as Lois Lane. Of course, Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White.
Jeremy Irons as Alfred. That's gonna be awesome.
Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I actually haven't seen any films
Jeremy
with
Irons is
him,
a legit
but
actor.
I've seen some interviews from him. And
Have you seen Die Hard with a Vengeance?
No, I don't.
Ah, he was the villain in that one.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's pretty good, man. I've seen him in a few other projects, and he's also one of those more traditionally trained guys.
Oh, okay.
He should pull it off. Not only that, but he's a little younger, and when he has to get mean, he'll get mean. So we don't know if we'll get to see that from Alfred, but it should be.
But I did
pretty
see.
interesting.
I actually did see a few interviews from him, and he does sound. He has that voice.
Oh, yeah,
he has that.
Voice, yes.
He's gonna pull it off as Alfred.
We also have Diane Lane coming back as Martha Kent, another really good actress.
Yes.
You know, she's been around. She's done her work. And
okay,
the
so now
latest
we're gonna,
acquisition.
Yeah, so now we're gonna get into the actors and actresses who came into the project. You know, along the way they announced it and stuff like that. So the first big one we're gonna bring up is Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
That was a rough one, man. That's a rough one.
Before when we did the last podcast, we spoke about it, and I wanted Sam Worthington to play as Aquaman.
I mean, that guy can pull it off.
I think he could have put it off. I actually went on IGN.com. For those of you who don't know, IGN.com. There's they talk about movies, games, music, you name it, books, even comic books. And I have an account there, and I posted it up. I wanted Sam Worthington to play as Aquaman. A lot of people disagreed. A lot of people agreed. People think that he was too old. I personally don't think.
My butt.
I seriously don't think Sam Worthington looks that old. I think he could have pulled it off. But then, Jason Momoa obviously came into the picture. When I saw Jason Momoa, I thought, dude, this guy looks straight up like Vandal Savage.
Or the Martian Manhunter.
Or the Martian Manhunter. I think they should have went Jason Momoa to play as Martian Manhunter or Vandal Savage.
It would have been a great villain.
I think he would have pulled it off, but instead they're going to a different direction and they're putting him as Aquaman. Which I guess we're just going to have to deal with it.
This is the way I look at it. It's like you had all these different, like it's saying you can't make a movie that's going to be directly like the book because you don't want to hear the same story twice.
Right.
They're going to tweak everything. I mean, even Superman and the Man of Steel. I mean, he doesn't have a Fortress of Solitude. He's got a spaceship that was already here, and that kind of became like his base. Look at the Batman movies. All that stuff that they've been doing lately has kind of been coming from more of a realistic point of view or more scientific point of view. A little less of the magic-y stuff, although when it gets to Justice League Dark, it's going to be magic flying out of the wazoo.
Right.
But even when it came to Ra's al Ghul, I mean, there was no Lazarus pit. There was no him resurrecting. You know what I mean? He died. Yeah. Plain and simple. The Joker never fell into acid. And in the end, did we care? Hell no, because he brought us something incredible. He brought us something incredible, which was an Oscar, which Marvel has not accomplished yet. But I digress. Little things like that. You figure, oh, this and that and the other, and it's not going to work. But Jason Momoa, I mean, the guy looks legit. He can play a warrior. He can definitely play an Atlantean. That's not a problem. I feel like they'll bring it from that whole realistic point of view. He's not gonna be a very pale skinned, blonde hair,
right.
Dude. But he's gonna look like a badass Atlantean, and I'm pretty sure that'll work.
Exactly. And if DC and Warner Bros. Wants to go this way, I accept. I think Jason Momoa. I mean,
I have faith in the creators.
I have faith in whatever WB and DC, Zack Snyder and his team. If that's what they want to go, I'm gonna have faith, and I'm still gonna go watch the film.
Oh yeah.
So I think Jason Momoa to play Aquaman. Hopefully he pulls it off great. Hopefully he pulls it off well. Now, we're going to go to another actor. That's Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? You say
you're
first.
I immediately just said, huh.
I was surprised. Because when I asked you...
Sure.
Yeah, I was. When I asked you... Or no, not asked you. When I told you that Jesse Eisenberg was going to play as Lex Luthor, you were happy.
I was like, well, good.
Yes.
I've seen this kid in a few other films. No better example than in
The Social Network.
The Social Network. You get to see him play a genius, which he can do really, really well. He can talk fast. He can put you down that fast. I mean, he can just shut you up like that. And when the guy talks, you're going to listen.
Yes.
And if you're not listening, he's going to talk over you anyway. And he also plays a really good douchebag. He's a real jerk, pardon my French, but he plays a really good jerk. A real,
An asshole.
Yes, much. He can. He can do that, and he can do it really well. and he's a genius at the same time. It's like, bam, they must have seen that movie and said, that's Luthor right there.
Yes.
Boom.
So, once again, I've been, comments, and a lot of people are negative about Jesse Eisenberg to play as Lex Luthor. Personally, I can't wait to see him, play as Lex Luthor. Apparently, Zack Snyder was going to do something with him that he's not going to meet Superman yet. Mm-hmm. But it's gonna grow. It's gonna actually come up. So
yeah, hey, let it build. I mean, at this point, this next movie is literally just gonna build the league little by little. People,
yes.
And that's the cool thing is people are like, well, why don't they all do individual movies and eventually meet?
No,
I think this is the best way DC could have gone because it makes it more, once again, realistic.
Exactly. And
if something huge happens on Earth, I'm pretty sure more than one hero is going to answer at a time. You know what I mean? Especially if they all live around or close to each other.
And the cool thing about Warner Brothers and DC Comics is that they're not trying to go and do what Marvel is doing.
Which a lot of fans want to see. Why don't they go the Marvel route?
Yes.
Because they're not Marvel.
They're not Marvel.
That's why.
That's what they're not trying to do. And they're trying to go their route, which I respect a lot more.
I think DC just has is willing to dive into the deep end of the pool more than Marvel is.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of people are probably going to hate this and, not want to agree with it. But, I mean, look at when it came to starting a universe over, DC says, you know what? We're going to start the New 52. Like it or not, they closed and stopped everything and jumped right into a whole new universe. Plain and simple. Marvel never really could. It's like they're trying to rehash and restart every year or two.
And it does feel that way.
And even when they tried to restart everything in the Ultimate Universe, they had their regular universe going too, and then eventually the Ultimate Universe ended because you get tired of it. Either that, you either put all your chips in, or you don't bet at all. You know what I mean? And DC, they went all for it with the comics, and now they're going all for it with the movies.
For their movies, exactly. And even on TV shows is going big.
Wow!
Right? Like
Speaking
the Flash,
of the TV shows, the Flash TV show's coming,
and Gotham and Constantine.
Woo, all right, let's one at a time.
Yeah,
here. Let's start with the big one, or the Gotham. Plain and simple. The show, the trailer already looks legit. It looks like it's going to be really, really good. I mean, up for it. I can't wait for it. It's going to be great.
I think the guy who's playing as Jim Gordon looks really.
I love the villains in it. The Penguin looks great.
Penguin looks good.
I haven't seen the new look yet for I haven't seen the Riddler yet, but I hear he's looking really well. I mean, just the way they're gonna do it all, the way they're gonna bring in, young Bruce Wayne and his relationship, his young Catwoman, then there's like a teenage Poison Ivy or something.
Yes.
I mean, and it's funny because it's like, well, why not? All these people were living in the same area at the same time. Watch them all grow.
Now, for those of you who think that the movies and the TV shows are going to combine and get into the whole mix-up, I don't think they're gonna do it that way. I don't think Gotham
will go there. No.
They asked the actor who's playing Arrow. I forgot his name. The guy who plays as Arrow. They asked him, if you wanted to be a part of the Justice League films, would you be up for it? He said, of course, but he doesn't believe that the movies and the TV shows are going to actually mix, or come together. So, it is what it is. He said that if something like that happens, of course he would love to do it. I think the actor was named Stephen Amell.
Okay.
Stephen Amell. He plays as Oliver Queen in the Arrow TV show.
It took me a bit to get into it, but that season does build.
Yeah. The first season was kind of slow. At the beginning, it was kind of slow for me.
And the villains didn't really work out for me. Not all of them.
Yeah, not all of them.
But him in general, just being a hero, he works. He does it really well. As far as the Flash, jumping into that now, I'm not sure if I'm really happy with the kid he got. He might be a good actor, but he just looks like a teenager.
Yeah,
in the Flash.
he looks too young
for the Central City Police Department.
And even Vibe is in it too. Freaking yeah.
The one Vibe in there.
Ramon is in it too.
Paco Ramon.
Paco Ramon is in there. So
believe it or not, in the mid '90s, back in the day when Wizard was still around in its glory years, heyday. They used to have the Mort of the Month, which they took the lamest character in the comics and put him into. And they had a mortal meter. Depending on how bad it was, the mortal meter would get between 0 to maybe 10 or 20.
Right.
Paco Ramon scored a good 10, I believe. He was Paco Ramon. He was.
And surprisingly, that Jeff Johns wanted him to come back in the comic books. He did for a little bit.
He was cool. He had a cool look and everything.
He did had a good look, but
I don't think people
it just didn't make it.
It didn't work.
So, yeah.
But that being said, I mean, the special effects didn't look really good.
It did.
Hey, hopefully it works out. Hopefully, they give us something incredible.
Yeah, and
jumping to that. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
Along with even Constantine too.
I was about to transition right into that.
Yeah, along with Constantine.
Gotham is going to be great. My most awaited one is Constantine because this guy looks like Constantine. Yeah. It was like they just ripped him out of the page and slapped him on the screen and made him move.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks great. The trailer looks
They have they actually have an Easter egg of I believe someone holding the Dr. Fate helmet, which I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
So they're really pushing it now.
Yeah, the whole mystical arts, the whole mystical world, the Justice League Dark, all that stuff. And if that ties in, that would be great.
It does.
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna get a better looking Constantine.
I know, exactly. So
I mean, it looks like it's gonna work, and I can't wait for that one.
I can't. Yeah. Overall, I just can't wait for what DC is doing with their characters in the TV shows, in the movies, and even in the comic books. The comic books right now, I'm enjoying. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I have my YouTube channel. Go check out Andre the Goon. It's Andre the Goon issues, comic book reviews, and stuff like that. I talk about the issues that I'm picking up. But there's also Forever Comics that we do
on our Forever Comics page
on Facebook. Just go to Facebook, search up Forever Comics, and we have our comic books reviews that we do we talk about, and also
El Perdido 101 on YouTube and on Facebook. Probably link them together, and all that will be available on Forever Comics, and we'll link them all to there.
We'll link them all
Jump
together.
Back and forth. Social media, baby. It's all where
it's all it is, and comic books too. I mean, that's what we mainly talk about. Is Forever Comics.
Just to not make the Marvel people feel too. All right. Let's talk about the movies that Marvel's been throwing out and what's impressed us most.
This year the movies that Marvel's came out was Captain America, which I loved and enjoyed.
It was a good action flick.
It was a good action flick. I enjoyed it.
I don't even see out of 5 stars, what would you rate that as?
I would have to say 4 stars.
Okay, I would give it about 3.5, 4. Okay.
3.5, 4. I say 4 stars.
It felt a little bit short to me because some parts were just like, okay, now it's going way over the top.
Right.
But other than that, the story was solid.
Solid.
What I mean? There's certain points where I was like, that was
X-Men,
a shocker.
Yes, X-Men Days of Future Past. I did not expect
to enjoy Days of Future Past as much as I did, and I was like, wow, that movie was really
cool.
When
we went to go see it, when Logan comes back from the past, I told you straight. I looked you. I bet you anything, Jean Grey and Cyclops is going to come out.
Oh yeah.
And
sure enough,
he did.
They came back.
They did, and
I think a lot of fans really enjoyed that.
They did. Fans did enjoy it. I enjoyed the film. I'd have to give that one 5 stars.
Casting all around did pretty solid.
Bryan Singer did a great job.
He did. Welcome back, Bryan Singer.
Yeah, but then again, I hope if they come up with the next movie, they can't push the characters that from the X-Men First Class. Because I did enjoy X-Men First Class.
Those X-Men First Class, the cast for X-Men First Class.
Yes, the cast for X-Men
the ones
First
that made
Class.
it to this film were really good.
Yeah.
Magneto especially. Magneto was awesome. I mean, him and Ian McKellen.
What's his name? Michael Fassbender, who plays as the young Magneto. And I forgot the other, the young Professor Xavier. Yes, I forgot his the actor's name there. But I actually did enjoy the film. The fact that they go to the past. I actually didn't even read the comic books. I mean, how was the comic books? Was it different from the movie?
The Days of Future Past comic book was very different from the way the movie worked out.
It wasn't. You told me that it wasn't Wolverine who went to the past. It was actually Bishop.
Yeah. Well, in the cartoon, it was Bishop. In the comic book, I'm not even sure if it was Cable. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it was all different. James McAvoy is what
That's right. James McAvoy as young Charles Xavier and Michael Fassbender as young Magneto. And so what are we looking here?
Huh? Looking up for the comic information.
Oh, right.
Now, see, this is what I remember from the comic book. I mean, you basically have it's the future. You have old Logan, and he's got the white hair and everything, which works out. And the funny thing is that in that whole, since it came out in 1981, it was it took place in about our time now. So it's pretty funny,
Nice.
I think that we basically caught up with Days of Future Past.
And I bet you think if you look at those panels, it's all like spaceships and flying cars and stuff like that.
No, actually, it's a very rundown and destroyed looking world.
Oh, wow!
It's actually pretty awesome. I mean, you have Sentinels fighting X-Men, and you have the characters dying much like they did in the movie. Believe it or not. And it was great. I mean, the Sentinels were all there. You had all that stuff going. You had people getting ripped to shreds. I mean,
so those are the 2 movies that actually came out from Marvel was Captain America and X-Men Days of Future Past. The next one that's actually going to come out is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which I got to say, I don't read the book.
I don't read the book either.
But the movie
does
fantastic.
look legit. The movie does look legit. If you put a talking raccoon with a gun, people are going to go watch that, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But it looks good. Obviously the raccoon looks legit too. He looks badass.
The special effects.
Looks legit.
They look great.
And I can't wait for the movie to come out too. That's actually the next movie that's going to come out. Well, there's a lot of films that we're actually are going to go see.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Sin City film. There's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Sure.
Transformers
even. Hey, even Transformers. I mean, like I'm saying, even if the story's not there, I mean, just visually, that's something you want to see in the theater. The sound will be great. You know, just something cool to watch.
And then to top it off, in the end of the year, December, The Hobbit.
The ending. You're gonna have a big ending. Hobbit. There and back again. Yeah.
Yes. So.
And that should be a great way to wrap up the year.
Actually. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, leave us comments. Anything.
Comment about whatever we said. What we think.
Good or bad, like it or hate it. Throw it on there.
But mainly we spoke about movies and a few
this podcast we wanted to keep it there.
Yeah, we wanted.
We don't really talk about the movies much. It was about time we talked about the movies.
So thank you guys for watching, and please go subscribe to our Facebook at Forever Comics.
Forever Comics.
Subscribe.
And don't forget to Andres the Goon.
Andre the Goon, Comic Book Issues at YouTube.
And El Perdido at 101 at YouTube.
So thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you all in the pages or in the film.